Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne, and the most beautiful dog just walked in. I could ride him to the supermarket. His name is Wally, and he came into the office here. And maybe he'll bark for us later on. We are talking with Daniel Miller. He is the author of The Gifts of Acceptance, Embracing People and Things as They Are. Danny, breaking down those walls. I was being a little bit sarcastic, but at the same time, I really think that if we all got together, leaders of the world got together and had a potluck, they had to make the dishes themselves. And I, of course, would like to see President Trump in the kitchen. But
okay, I like your idea, and I don't see it as being sarcastic. I see it as being relevant and constructive. Let me just add to the potluck, right? Okay,
sure.
It could be political leaders, it could be religious leaders, it could be community leaders. But here's what happens. I agree. They each bring their own dish. They dress in their native or cultural dress, right? And,
right.
And they come, and whether we're sitting or whatever it is, or maybe they meet in different groups, and they are asked to share a story about their children. Or they're asked a story about their grandparents that taught them something, or a mentor. And the only rule, if we're going to call it a rule, is that the others have to listen. Meaning not to start commenting right away, is to allow these people, each person, to share their story, and see if we don't find some commonality in what's shared and expressed, and see if we don't feel more engaged, and just to take that process. Maybe Mark, you and I can do. Maybe we'll start with taking it a certain community and take it from one community to the next. And
I love it.
And because what's happening is we're beginning to accept these other people. We're beginning to cut through these fears that we have, that somehow what they say or they believe or what they eat is going to hurt us some way, you know. And so maybe some trust can develop. So,
and at the same time, alongside every plate of food, there's a book, The Gifts of Acceptance by Daniel Miller. I like it.
That made me a best-selling author for sure.
Yeah, that absolutely would.
But you know, my theme, or what I'm really behind what I'm doing, because I'm fortunately very blessed financially, and so it's like, let's help acceptance go viral. Let's make it go viral. And the potlucks that you suggested is just a great opportunity to do that.
We could start with religious leaders in a community and expand it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do you think people fear other people that they don't know? In other words, if somebody's growing up in, Smallville, Kansas, and they don't have any association with Muslims or Jews, so they're instinctively, it seems, afraid of these people.
Yes. I think it's because it's the unknown, the uncertain, the unfamiliarity, and I think in general that generates fear and anxiety, you know, and especially in these small communities where they haven't been exposed. So there is that sort of ominous fear is what might happen to me, you know, what these people may do to me, and it is. Unfortunately, it is a type of, you know, closed-mindedness, and probably, you know, difficult to overcome. You know, we hear about stories where people in those communities, when they reach out and they go out to other areas, how their views change because they are exposed to, you know, a broader segment of views.
And what about, you know, controlling? Is that an underlying issue, do you think,
Oh,
Danny?
yeah, not only underlying, it's fundamental. Okay, when you are controlling, you cannot be accepting. Acceptance is the antidote to control. It's the best antidote, you know, that and cutting through our fear. So, you know, when we're controlling, is we're expecting things of others, We want them to do things certain ways, and when they don't do the things those ways, we're upset or disappointed, and they're angry at us for pressuring them, so we can build up resentment. So, as I wrote in my first book, I was basically a control freak, in my world and my business, and it was a 20-year journey in writing that book in which I was exploring, well, why am I controlling so much, and what if I don't, et cetera, et cetera. In my case, it took a series of events that brought me to my knees. At that point, I couldn't do anything else, and I had to surrender. And then I saw what could happen with surrendering. A lot of good things can happen. So, and acceptance is just an extension of that. As I've done my writing on control, I have a Daniel A. Miller website where I write articles on control and acceptance. I wrote this one short one, like 5 good reasons to accept people as they are.
I love it. Danny, we're running out of time here. The music is coming up underneath us. What is your website, very quickly? Daniel A. Miller. I have my articles there, and the book can be purchased on Amazon.com or ordered through bookstores. Gotcha. Danny, we will be in touch. Hold on. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Darrell Wayne. We'll return right after this. Don't go away. More coming up.